Okay, here is another episode of the whole day in the life of creating GANs kind of thing, and other sort of things that go with the Kesha unit. So I'm going to walk in here and see what's going on this morning. There's the kombucha across the road from this whole project, and it's been in a lot of evolution, which, hey, it's the way creation goes. So we had 6 buckets collecting GANs just to see if it made a difference whether we had them warm or not warm. It was part of the experiment, and the ones that were down here that were not warm, they didn't do a whole lot. And the CO2 or the CO2 GANs that we had over here with no warmth in it, no bubbles in it, it actually had like an orange iron looking GANs in it, so that was kind of odd. But we'd also had those tubs going for 3 days, so the salt may have been just needing to be changed. So we changed to this. Last night I put 3 new tubs in here, and this is actually a warming blanket like you would buy for the bed, about 30 bucks at Walmart. So they're nice and cozy. It's winter here in Washington State, so pretty dang cold. So we keep this room a little bit higher because it's got a nice little warming unit there. So let's unveil everybody, see how they did overnight. I'm trying it with and without the bubbler going into it. This is the CO2 that I just freshened up last night with a bubbler in there. I see a very little bit of dust of the CO2 GANs on the bottom. Go over here to the copper oxide one. I added an extra nano-coated plate. I've got some nano-coated foil that I used, and that one looks like it's doing well. Cleaned up and added a clean copper plate to it. It's got just a little bit of the water bubbler running into it. I bought these air stones, and I found out if I really crank it up, it seems to disturb the process, but a little bit of airflow seems to help the process. So somewhere in there is the truth. Like, here's the bigger stone, but I've got the air turned way down. I found these little dials that you can put in line at the fish store that you can increase or decrease the amount of air. Apparently it's important to have the little pump above the water level so the water doesn't go back into it when you turn it off. And they have these little one-way flow valves that you can buy. So this one is the other copper oxide collection. It should be a ditto to this one. So what the difference is, I don't know. They were put together at the same moment last night. This one's making a lot of nice greenish color stuff, and this one has no greenish color stuff. What would be the difference? I don't know. I was careful to keep the little wire out of the water level, which I had some clarification on that. Put fresh nano-coated plate in there, fresh copper plate in there. As of this moment, it almost looks like it's getting some of the white GANs at the bottom, like it's a CO2 looking collection. So we'll see what happens with that, don't know. And then over here, I thought, well, let me go back to, I got some clarification. It'd be nice for all of these to be at about 100 degrees. So since they weren't, they were really darn cold, and like I said, Washington winter, I chose to go back to my little crock pot from Goodwill. It does have a setting that says keep warm, and that stays, I know it's above 100 if I really leave it on, so I'm going to go ahead and turn it off for now. I kind of turn it on and off through the day. And this one's really pumping. And I see a lot of white in there. I just hung some zinc on one side and some nano-coated copper on the other side. An extra little nano-coated piece of wire that I'd played with. Looks like that lost its nano-coating overnight, so I'm going to go ahead and take that out and maybe put a fresh nano-coated foil on this side sometime soon. I just kind of keep an eye on that. The foil keeps its nano-coating for maybe a 3-day collection, so that's not bad. So that one looks like it's doing mucho better than his little friend over here that was just in the warming blanket overnight. Let me stick my finger in there and see. It's not near as cold as it had been, but it's not body temperature. I didn't know how high I could turn this little thing up and not blow it, you know, with it being just kind of around these tubs and under it on this metal thing. So I'll probably crank him up a couple notches and see if that warming the water a little bit more makes things go a little faster. So before I sign off, this is our GANS collections from the last few days in various phases of rinsing. So it's coming along. These are all the different little evolutions of it. Is sometimes if they turn out a way different color or a different looking substance, we go ahead and put it in a different container. And with the new information about not having to use near as much GANS for the dipping, we may be all right when it comes to filling up our 3 balls and dipping. We may just about have it together finally. And at some point today I'm going to play with the configuration of this and how to stack it up with 3 balls and 3 plates. And I found this cute little shelf at Goodwill. Thought that might work. We're in the process of blow torching out in the garage, so we'll go and see what the color is on the blow torching. It seemed like yesterday they weren't really black by the time we got done. We did 3 passes front and back per the new instructions, and at the end of that they kind of looked brassy, but not really. Oh, it's kind of darkish in here. I'm going to stop it now and then I'll do that.